You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
Samsung and SK Hynix's move this week signals a strategic shift in Korea's AI infrastructure sector that multinationals with Asia supply chains can't ignore, forcing a board-level decision on regional risk and upward reporting. It's Wednesday, July 1st. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea.
Yeah, I'm really glad we're getting into this one today.
Right, because we are talking about a combined 4,755 trillion won, which is roughly 3.4 trillion US dollars across 3 mega projects.
Exactly. The scale is just staggering.
Yeah. So Samsung committed 425 trillion or 304 billion US dollars to the Honam region.
Right.
And that includes 2 memory fabs and a 210 megawatt solar AI data center.
Right. And right alongside them, SK Hynix committed 470 trillion won, which is about 336 billion US dollars, to build 2 fabs and a 1 gigawatt data center.
Wait, 336 billion US dollars?
Yeah, just from SK Hynix alone.
Wow. So if you're managing a supply chain in Asia right now, you have to consider this analogy. Is this massive 3.4 trillion US dollar package like, building an 8-lane highway before knowing the traffic volume?
Well, that is the risk, right?
Exactly, because we are risking the capital expenditure trap that Taiwan and China are actively warning about.
Right. But here is where it gets interesting, because the government investment MOU unlocks up to 100% state funding for infrastructure immediately.
Oh, wow. Up to 100% state funding.
Exactly. So they aren't footing the bill entirely on their own. Compare this regional raise to Japan. Japan pledged 10.5 trillion yen, which is 100 trillion won or 71 billion US dollars, to capture 30% of the global AI robotics market.
So the state support is really just changing the game entirely.
Yeah, it completely alters their cost advantage.
But let's transition to the harder side of scaling.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because Wemade's founder sold his stake for 920 billion won, or roughly 660 million US dollars.
Right, in a move that honestly shocked the market.
And EcoPro BM announced a 1.2 trillion won, which is 860 million US dollars rights offering.
Exactly. So when you strip away those state subsidies, you expose the raw capital structure risks.
So what does this actually mean for the executives listening right now? I mean, does this change the profitability or supply chain risk of our Korea operations?
For multinational sourcing memory chips, Taiwan and China's capital expenditure trap warning means capacity could outpace demand if the AI build-out slows, even as Samsung and SK Hynix lock in state-backed cost advantages. The Wemade and EcoPro BM deals demonstrate that scaling fast carries distinct capital structure risks that impact profitability differently than state-funded megaprojects. Boards must adjust near-term Asia supply chain strategies to leverage the state support flowing toward AI infrastructure while pricing the funding pressures in adjacent tech sectors.
Watch how these massive capital expansions test the broader #COSPI market resilience leading up to Samsung's Honam data center operations in 2028. That's today's AI PRISM CEOs. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a Juan Ifro award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.